the 22nd of April, 2026, Wednesday morning. Common Buddhist texts and guidance, insight from the Buddha. The chief editor of this book is Dr. Pratmaha Dhammakosachan. We finished yesterday on chapter 4 on society and human relationship from the perspective of the Theravada tradition, the southern tradition. Now, as we move to look at the Mahāyāna, the greater vehicle tradition, on chapter 4 on society and human relationship, good governance. This passage describes such a ruler as a compassionate and caring son of a good family, a layman who is the king of the great country should care for his subjects as if they each were his only child. He should teach them to refrain from unwholesome actions and to cultivate wholesome qualities. If a criminal is caught, he should receive corporal punishment and public humiliation, but he should not be put to death. A sixth of the people's property should be paid in tax. When he sees evil-minded, short-tempered people, he should teach them to cultivate patience and awareness, speaking to them with kind words. As a king, he should be able to separate good people from bad. He should be tolerant towards criminals and not punish them. He should practice charity often, given according to how many possessions he has. When he sees the poor, he should generate great compassion, should always be content with his own lands. He should never believe the slander spread by evil-minded people. He should never seek to accumulate wealth in a way which is contrary to the righteous Dhamma. This can be cited in the Upasaka Sila Sutra Daso, volume 24, text 1488, chapter 13, pages 1047, translated from Tibetan. Leaders should be generous and helpful. This urges leaders to act with compassion for the poor and the disabled people. Gautama the Buddha addressed the king, or addressed the bodhisattva. A bodhisattva is a person yet unawakened. That's not an arihat, just to keep in mind. So, address the bodhisattva, Kisitakarpa. In this world, there are kings, prime ministers, high officials, great elders, great leaders, and great Brahmins, and so forth. Such people may encounter those who are most lowly, poor, and in need. And for those who are infirm, crippled, dumb, mute, deaf, insane, blind, or who have some other kind of deficiency. These great kings and others may wish to give these people alms, whether they give by their own hand or by having others arrange for gifts to be given on their behalf. If they can give with great compassion, with awareness, with a smile, and with kind words of comfort, they will obtain as much karmic benefits as if they had given alms to many Buddhas, as there are grains of sands in the 100-river Ganges. This can be cited in the Kisikarpa Bodhisattva Purva Paritava Sutra, Daso, volume 13, text 412, chapter 10, translated from The vows of a queen. In this passage, a queen vows to always act for the benefit of others. When she had heard that the Buddha's prophecy, Sri Mala, stood respectively and took the vow of 10 great undertaking. Blessed one Gautama, from now until I realize awakening, Arihata, no thought of breaking the precepts that I have undertaken will arise in me. No thought of disrespect for the elders will arise in me. No thought of hatred toward living beings will arise in me. No thought of jealousy of others, physical appearance or possession will arise in me. No thought of miserliness regarding inner or outer things will arise in me. I will never accumulate things for my own benefit, whether I possess the will to be given away in order to help those who are miserable and destitute. I will never practice the 4 methods of drawing together harmoniously. This is giving, endearing speech, helpful conduct, working together, especially towards a common goal. These are the 4 methods of drawing together harmoniously for my own benefit, but in order to help all living beings. I will help living beings with a mind which is not clouded by attachment, tiredness, and hindrances when I see beings who are lonely, uprooted, in prison, afflicted by disease, or suffering from any kind of disaster or misery. I will not desert them, even for an instant, but I will instead bring them to safety and help them with the right motivation of helping to free them from suffering, dukkha. Only then will I be happy to leave them. When I see unwholesome practices such as hunting or trapping living beings or breaking the precepts, I will not leave them be, as I have the power to help them. If I see people like this anywhere, I will train those who are to be trained and assist those who need assistance. I will never fail to bear the true Dharma in mind. Therefore, take this vow of 10 great undertakings. This can be cited in the Sri Mala Devi Sim Ananta Sutra Taso, Volume 12, Text 353, Chapter 2, translated from Tibetan. Peace, violence, and crime. In the midst of the great battles, they favor neither side. Greatly powerful bodhisattvas delight in bringing together in harmony. This can be cited in the Vimalakshitri Nitesa Sutra, Chapter 7, Section 6, Verse 27, translated from Sanskrit. How to deal with difficult behavior. So when seeing an enemy or even a friend behaving badly, by thinking that such things arise from particular conditions, I shall remain happy. People's faults are temporary visitors. Beings are by nature pleasant, so anger towards them is no more appropriate than anger at the sky when it is filled with acrid smoke. This could be cited from the Bodhicharya Vatara, Volume 6, 33 and 40, translated from Sanskrit. Against capital punishments. This passage advises that a ruler should not punish people by killing or mutilating them, as this will mean that they will die angry, so as to be reborn in the lower state. Thus, it is not right to kill, destroy sense organs, or cut off limbs that cannot be restored. These are improper and dishearten and repulse people. They are not the ways of the righteous ruler. This can be cited from the Aya Satyaka Parivata, page 200, translated from Tibetan. Occasionally, the bodhisattva should regretfully use violence to save others. This passage allows violence in the very limited circumstances to save others, but only by spiritually developed people who are prepared to take on the potential bad karma of such acts. A bodhisattva who sees a theft or a thief or a robber who is about to kill many hundreds of living beings. Great individuals, disciples, solitary Buddhas, or bodhisattvas, in order to profit himself or to ready to repeatedly commit the 5 acts which have immediate bad karmic consequences, should reflect in the following way. If I take the life of the living being, I will be reborn in hell. I would gladly be reborn in hell if it means that the living beings can avoid such a fate which certainly befalls him. If he commits one of the 5 acts which have immediate bad karmic consequences, with this attitude, the bodhisattva should take the life of this person in a wholesome state of mind, a neutral state of mind out of empathy, even through the fears that the rebirth will bring him. This is not a transgression, but on the contrary, will bring him a great deal of beneficial karma. If there are kings or ministers who are excessively violent and cruel towards other living beings, and who put all their energies into oppressing others, a bodhisattva should not hesitate to use force to remove them from this position of power. A great deal of beneficial karma will flow from such an action when it is done out of empathy and with the intention to benefit others and bring them to happiness. Bodhisattva Bhumi 90.1, 9.2, translation from Sanskrit. Now, this is very different from the Theravada tradition because even with the intention, because basically, from my interpretation, is you're making the decision to intercede into taking his life because he is a cruel person. In terms of this, the Buddha states that evil cannot be appeased by hatred, cannot be appeased by hatred. It can only be appeased by compassion. This is the eternal Dharma, S Dharma Satano, or S Satano Dharma. This is the eternal Dharma. So, this is where it conflicts with each other of different terms, but because it says here, a great deal of beneficial karma will flow from such an action when it is done out of empathy and the intention to benefit others and bring them happiness. That is just a different view from the Theravada perspective as being a renunciant and taking the vow of the first vow, Bani Bata, Vedapmani Badam Samadhyami. I take the vow to not take any life, living being, even with the out of empathy and the intentions of benefit to bring happiness, because you're making the conscious decision for that. Wealth and economy, contentment and generosity. Anyone who wishes to obtain worldly pleasures and transcendental bliss should be generous. The wise should think, even if I possess all 4 continents, could thereby indulge in countless pleasures, I would still be satisfied. I should therefore practice generosity in order to obtain transcendental bliss. I should not seek heavenly or human pleasures because this is impermanent and limited. This can be cited from the Upasaka Sila Sutra, Daso, volume 24, text 1488, chapter 19. The danger of attachment to celebrity, beauty, and wealth. Gautama Buddha said, people follow their desires and long for fame. This is like a burning incense. Living beings smell the incense, but the incense itself is burned up and turns to smoke. This is the fame of the ignorant, the greedy, and the vulgar, those who do not guard the truth of the path. Fame is dangerous and brings misfortune. One comes to regret being famous. Gautama Buddha said, people crave money and sex. This is like child's desire for honey smeared on a razor blade. The honey will not bring the satisfaction of a full meal, but still the child risks cutting his tongue to get it. Sutra of 42 sections. Daso, volume 17, text 784. The equality of men and women, gender prejudice. This striking passage criticizes prejudice against women as it wrongly views gender as being based on unchanging essential natures. Sariputra said, Goddess, why do you transform yourself from the female state? The goddess replies, I have searched for the state of being female for fully 20 years, and yet I have not found it. Brother Sariputra, if any illusionist, listen to that, created an apparition of a woman and someone were to say to her, why don't you transform yourself from your female state? What would she say? Sariputra replied, she does not exist in any state. The goddess says, in just the same way, Brother Sariputra, as all phenomenon do not exist in any state and are illusionary apparitions, why would you ask, why don't you transform yourself from your female state? Then the goddess used her supernatural powers to make the elder Sariputra look at her, to make herself look like the elder Sariputra. Then the goddess who looked at Sariputra asked Sariputra, who looked like the goddess? Brother Sariputra, why don't you transform yourself from your female state? Sariputra, who looked like the goddess, said, I do not know what to transform. My male body has disappeared and has been transformed into the female body. The goddess said, if the elder could transform himself from his female state, then so too any woman could transform herself from her female state. Just as the elder is not a woman, but only looks like a woman, so too all women only have the bodies of women. They are not really women, but only look like women. This is what the Blessed One meant when he said, all phenomena are neither female nor male. Then the goddess stopped using her supernormal powers, and the venerable Sariputra got his own body back again. Then the goddess said to venerable Sariputra, Brother Sariputra, where have you made your female body go? Sariputra replies, I haven't made anything or transformed anything. The goddess said, in just the same way, all phenomena are neither made nor transformed. That nothing is made or transformed is the word of the awakened Buddha. This can be cited in the Vimakiri Nidesa Sutra, chapter 6, sections 14 to 15, translated from Sanskrit. A wise woman who is prophesied to become an awakened Buddha in the future. Here, Gautama Buddha addresses Queen Shrimala, having just said that she will in time attain unsurpassed perfect awakening, Arihanta. You have praised the true qualities of the Tathagata. Because of this wholesome root, you will become the ruler of the gods, innumerable, immeasurable eons from now. Wherever you were born, you will see and praise me just as you have done in the present existence, in exactly the same terms. Moreover, you will serve innumerable, countless Buddhas for 20,000 immeasurable eons. You will then become an awakened, a Tathagata, a Arihat, a perfectly enlightened Buddha named Universal Light. Srila Mala Deva Simhananta Sutra Daso, Volume 12, Text 353, Chapter 1. Lucy is the leader. Lucy is the leader. I'm going to stop there today, and we will pick up at respects for and gratitude for parents on the next one. This is dealing on society and human relationship from the Mahāyāna tradition. We already covered the Theravada tradition, and after this we're going to go into and dive into the Vajrayana. So respects and gratitude for parents on the bottom of the page. Common Buddhist text, guidance and insight from the Buddha.